If you got funk, you got style. You're funkin' and you're styling all the while.
Oh, wow.
If you got
Yeah.
funk, you got
Got
class.
class.
You're out on the floor moving your ass.
If this that funk you want, then this that funk you'll get.
Mothership, well, you got to figure we were on a roll by then. We had just had Chocolate City, okay, which was the second album with Neil Bogart with Casablanca. We had done Up for the Downstroke first, and then Chocolate City. We was at that point where you knew the next record was that one. All the momentum had built to that point. We had the perfect person that I knew in business to make it go there. My dream up until then had always to be a funk opera, to be able to do a funk opera. And we had just done a record, Chocolate City, imagining blacks in the White House. So when that one worked, because Black, I'm Proud was happening at that moment. So I say, where's the next place you don't see us at? And that's basically outer space. The only one you saw of us was Aurora in Star Trek. Otherwise, we wasn't in outer space. So the Mothership connection was that funk opera. And I knew we was on that momentum that allowed me to think like that. Bootsy had joined with us, and we was doing his record and Mothership at the same time. I wasn't tied down to this planet for a minute. I could imagine it taking off at that moment. And had all the right people there to do it. You know, we had the like I say, the Bootsy's element. We was Funkadelic. We was straight out of Motown. We had all that information stored up, ready to go somewhere. And when we got the right machine that we knew we had with Neil, it was worth us putting everything in it. And when you feel like that, ain't nothing can stop you. When you got that kind of momentum, they call it in the zone. You know, you can do, almost anything. And that's where we were at that moment. You know how they say trust the force, Luke? We was trusting the funk for a long time. When we came out of Motown and realized we didn't have to step the same, we didn't have to dress the same, and do it. And once we realized that we was free to do our own thing, but trust the funk and let the groove take you there, I really do believe that had a lot to do with me freeing my mind and then my ass followed. I just look around and see how many people bobbing their heads, and if they bobbing their heads, something must be right.
And Granddaddy's influence, like we've taken a lot away from him and put it into what we, carrying in the traditional sound and like doing group chants and group vocals, coming up with a word or a theme and stuff like that, and having everyone in the room, in the back of the room, all around the mic and stuff like that, saying the same thing at the same time with that effect of bouncing off the walls and stuff like that. So taking a lot of stuff away from him and applied that at home, recording in the car and doing things like that. So learned a lot and just soaking it up and squeezing it out.
Here's what I've learned, okay? This is what y'all need to know. George Clinton comes to work, all right? Let me tell you, okay? I won't name names, but I'll give you the vibe, okay? I'm in I'm in Van Nuys. I want to say Van Nuys. So I'm in the Valley, okay? And we're there. We got a little session coming. We got engineer coming. We're in an apartment condo in there, and we've got engineers and we've got it's George Clinton, and I'm fly on the wall at this point. I'm just helping out. I'm a gopher, and we've got another musician who got some names there. Okay, so we brought everyone together. Okay, we'd stay there for a couple of days. So George Clinton's ready to work. Engineer shows up, computer set up. We've got another musician in the bedroom, and then we've got other equipment in the other bedroom. Okay, George Clinton's knocking on the door. Hey man, okay, we're getting ready to do the thing. You ready? Oh, I'll be there in a second. Now 15 minutes goes by, door hasn't opened up. Now 30 minutes. Now an hour. Now George Clinton is banging on the door. We gotta get to work. We gotta get to work. And there's all this talking and, drinking, got a girl in there, this, that, and the other. And I'm trying not to laugh. But of all of the stories that I heard from my friends' parents, say, growing up. Oh, George Clinton's crazy guy. Oh, crazy. I used to listen to smoke weed in college. Oh, God. Da, 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 da. You don't understand the amount of work that goes into making these records and making the stage production and making the shows happen and making tour happen, making interviews happen and costumes and all of that. It takes serious work. So with all the playtime, George Clinton makes it look fun and sound fun and feel fun, but there's some serious work. And other musicians, they come to play. George Clinton comes to work, and but he's very good at making it fun. So you get, that's what I've learned. I'm like, oh wow, it's not about the nighttime hangout and smoke and drink and try to pretend to be important. It's about coming in, getting work done.
George is so open-minded. You're learning that his process is what's your process. Find a process. He's open to it. Everything is accepted in a way. But then on top of that, the work ethic, like what Trafiel was saying, the work ethic is what gives you the organized part.
When it comes to like studio sessions and stuff like that, you have to be the George of the room. Now, I know that might sound funny, but like, and what I mean is like, you got more experience than people most of the time when you do a session for them and stuff like that. So when they ask you to like do things, you know you're gonna have to get a little piece of George with this, right? You know I'm bringing the George with this. Mm-hmm. So, and when that means is like it's gonna be straight pocket. I remember we was doing that session and we would be hitting that same beat, and we just stayed on that same beat. And I recorded
1,000 times.
I recorded it at one point and was playing the same beat for like 16 minutes. The same, like 16 minutes, no fill, nothing. George is always like going to be like the hip hopper for hip hop. So it's like when they was doing what they was doing with I Got a Thing and all that stuff, that was like hip hop before hip hop.
It is pretty much the longest running American popular music band of all time. And it is pretty much the largest discography of any one production unit. If you include all the side projects, it's the largest of that ilk, period, in popular music history. So not only proud to be a part of the legacy, but try to push what that legacy is. Because I think it means so many different things to so many people because it's such this giant animal. But I just try to help with the understanding of that. And I appreciate you guys at Splice for both giving us the opportunity to do this project in general, but also talk to you about some of the process and history in that. So thank you.